some years ago, I was teaching a course on ethics and biotechnology, discussing a lot of the issues that you and I have subsequently discussed after you wrote the book Homo Deus. And we were discussing various aspects of the project of re-engineering human nature. And my colleague, a scientist, and I taught this course. And one day we invited James Watson to come to the class. And he was making the argument, Watson, who had won the Nobel Prize for discovering the structure of DNA. And he was talking about cognitive enhancement through genetic alteration. And he was very much in favor of it. And his argument was, I asked him, do you consider having a low IQ to be a disease in need of a cure? And he said, yes, of course, because people with low IQs live very difficult lives. They have trouble making a living and so on. And a student raised her hand and asked, well, given that's the case, why don't we try to reform the economy and society so that people with low IQs don't live such hard lives? And Watson's reply was, oh, we're never going to be able to change society. That's way too hard. That's why we need to use genetic engineering to solve this problem. And I found that a revealing but chilling answer, not only because of its eugenic sensibility, but also because it seemed to concede so readily the project of moral and political improvement, as if to say that human agency is impotent in the face of that project. Therefore, better to repair ourselves, the better to fit the world, the social roles that are beyond human repair or reform. That's the worry. That I think represents the fundamental concession to the moral and political disempowerment of humanity. That's what motivated the question, at least, Yuval.
In one way, I can understand why he said it. Humans resist manipulation in a way that genes don't, in a way that stones don't. When you invent a new stone tool, the stones don't get together to thwart your plan. But when you try to manipulate humans, this is a system that reacts to your attempts to manipulate or to predict its actions. So in this sense, yes, it's more difficult, but at the historian, I think it's just not true. There are many successful attempts to better human society, not through the invention of some new tool, some new technology, but by changing the values, the stories, the structure of the society itself. You know, one of the biggest achievements, I think, of humankind has been the drastic reduction of violence over the last few generations. And even though it owes something to a technical invention, the nuclear bomb, to a large extent, it was done by changing human values in human society. And you know, we talked a lot during this conversation about the failures of center-left parties and progressive parties, but they also had enormous success. And when it comes to racial inequality, to gender inequality, they really managed to improve things, and not by inventing a new technology. So this fixation that the answer to any problem we have is just to invent a new technology, that's extremely dangerous. First of all, because it gives up so many other things that we can do. And secondly, because it ignores the main problem that, okay, you invent the technology, but then the decision what to do with it is not in the hands of the tool, it's in the hands of the same society. So if you have done nothing to change the society and its values, you just invented a new tool, then if the society has evil values, it's now just more powerful to do its evil things. You have done nothing. You just made things worse. And I hope that people will realize, and especially the people who work so hard to develop the new technologies, the new tools, that tools never, at least until the rise of artificial intelligence, tools don't tell you what to do with them. So no matter which wonderful technology you invent, you always have to change society alongside the tools.